Welcome to Running the Table, the podcast where we run through everything on the table in the world of college basketball. And this is the final regular season Butler recap of the 2023-2024 season. And what a better way to end it than with a win against arch rival Xavier at Hinkle. So without further ado, let's run it. With Butler's regular season coming to a close, they hosted their arch rival Xavier in their season finale. This is a matchup both teams are always eager to win, and with both teams clawing to get on the right side of the bubble, they'll take any kind of win. Before we recap the game, for most people I arrived with at Butler, this was their final home game as students. To all my friends and classmates at BU, this one's for you. They made their presence felt and packed Hinkle Fieldhouse and the Dog Pound one final time. So, what the heck happened? Butler came out of the gate swinging and jumped on Xavier, building a 20-4 run over the first 5 minutes. However, that lead wouldn't last because we have to remember how streaky this Butler team can be shooting the ball. A scoring drought that bled over into the second half allowed Xavier to claw back. Over 10 minutes of gameplay, Butler didn't score a single point, and Xavier was able to make it a 5-point deficit with a little under 15 minutes to go in the game. However, the Musketeers would come close, but they would never catch the Dogs as Butler was able to put the game away in crunch time and win their season finale in front of their home crowd. Some of the top performers from this game: Posh Alexander, 16 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and did a little bit of everything. 6 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. More on him later. Jamil Telfort was the leading scorer for the game with 18 points, 6 of 16 from the field, 6 boards, and 4 assists. For Xavier, Quincy Olivari scored 13 points. He was 5 for 15 from the field, gobbled up 9 boards and 2 steals. Desmond Claude was the Musketeers' leading scorer with 17 of his own, 5 for 14 from the field, 3 boards, and 2 steals. The honorable mention for Butler is Jalen Thomas. He didn't do much offensively in the scoring category with 6 points, but he had 10 boards and 3 blocks, so he made his presence felt down low. Davian McKnight is Xavier's honorable mention with 13 points, 6 of 14 from the field, 6 boards, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Some of the key points for each team, starting with Butler. They did a very good job of controlling the game from tip-off. Xavier only held the lead for 38 seconds at the beginning of the game, and the game was tied for about 40 seconds. But the other 38 minutes, it was all Butler the rest of the way. The Dogs did a great job playing the game at their speed on both sides of the ball. On offense, it wasn't always pretty. They could have shot a lot better, especially from deep, but it was enough to get the job done. This game was truly won, however, on defense. This was the best Butler's defense had played in a long, long time. They were aggressive on the perimeter, attacking the ball, especially guards Posh Alexander and Finley Bizjack, and they did a fantastic job sticking with Xavier's guys, forcing them into tough looks and getting a hand in their face to contest the shot. This was Posh Alexander's best game as a Bulldog by far. He was everywhere on both ends of the floor. He made plays both as a scorer and distributor on offense and was a pest on defense. He's known for his perimeter defense, but this was another level of irritating Posh. And if we could get that Posh Alexander the rest of the way alongside the big three, Butler's got a fighting chance in the Big East tournament. On the other side for Xavier, when Quincy Olivari doesn't show up, who's going to take control and take over the offense? It could be Desmond Claude. It could be Davian McKnight, but we're still not sure though. Xavier has to find a second option alongside Olivari if they're going to have a chance going forward. With those guys, those three of Olivari, Claude, and McKnight, they took 43 of Xavier's 67 shots in the game. And more often than not, Butler's tough defense forced those three into a lot of difficult shots. On top of that, most of those difficult shots were contested, so that makes it even tougher. Xavier is going to have to be a lot more creative making space for their shooters on offense. Although they were smacked in the mouth and down big in the first half, that didn't deter them. And as much as it pains me to give them their credit here because I can't stand Xavier, the Musketeers were able to claw their way back and not let the game slip away from them. They never held the lead, but in a rivalry game that has future implications, they didn't just roll over, and that's incredibly commendable on their end. Next up on the schedule for Butler is Madison Square Garden in the Big East tournament and a potential date with Xavier again. There's a very real chance that these two teams could be the 9-8 matchup in the Big East tournament. Xavier has one more game, though. They take on Marquette on Saturday. That would be a huge win for them if they're able to steal that one. They're sitting at 500 overall, 9-10 in conference play, and they could easily vault themselves into bubble watch with a few statement wins, and it starts against Marquette. But that's all we got for this regular season finale of Butler basketball. If you want some other Butler recaps, we have a lot more to watch, so go check those out. Tim does Purdue recaps as well as Boom Buster Believable, and this is March, so we're going to be breaking down all the Power 6 conferences to get you ready for Selection Sunday and the NCAA tournament. We got a lot going on, so we're going to keep bringing you content. If you want us to talk about anything else, let us know. And until next time, I'm out.